Hey there, hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Your friend Dean Kulaweera here. Thanks so much for tuning in. And every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time Zone, I'm right here with my live stream to help you folks out there, you job seekers out there, with various job search related tips and topics, and just sharing my views. Just this is one of my ways that I like to give back every week live. At least I'm able to interact with you. At least in some respect live. And don't feel shy. Feel free to say hello in the comments. Feel free to also start putting in your questions, anything job search related, anything recruitment related that you might want to hear my perspective on. Feel free to start putting that in the comments. Even if it's not related to today's topic, that's completely fine. But even as I'm speaking about today's topic, feel free to drop in your questions in the comments. Now, before I get into today's topic and what I'm going to be speaking about with you folks today is this right here. How do you respond to that common question you get asked, right? Every now and well, maybe not every now and then, but I'd say that this is probably a pretty common question you will get asked, not just by hiring managers, but also by recruiters, by HR managers, HR coordinators, like whoever is going to be interviewing you for the position that you applied for, right? They're probably going to ask you if you're currently employed. They're probably going to ask you, why are you leaving your current employer? This is something that they will ask. I'm going to get into my take on why they are asking you this question and how you can potentially respond to this question. I'm going to speak about an effective strategy you can use to respond to this question. Now, before I get into the topic, I just wanted to quickly let you know, for those of you who have an interest in tech related topics, I just released my new episode 2 of my podcast with my special guest Joel Medeiros of RPA Pro, and he's on the show to talk about robotic process automation. Now, I released this is not going to be on today's live stream, but I released this on my YouTube channel. So if you have an interest in robotic process automation, also frequently what we refer to as RPA, certainly make sure you check out that new episode. It's on my YouTube channel. The link to my YouTube channel is on my Linktree page, which you'll see scrolling down underneath over here. So just head on over to linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter, linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter, and you can check out my conversation with Joel. It was a really interesting discussion. We spoke about RPA, and Joel shared his viewpoints and more information about RPA, which might be of interest to those of you who might have an interest in that field, in that area, right? So make sure you check that out. Again, it's on my YouTube channel. It's again the Linktree page address is scrolling down here below. So again, head on over to linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter if you want to check out that conversation. Again, great conversation. Learned so much. I was asking Joel about what is RPA, how can people get into this career path, what career paths exist within RPA, and what is the aim of RPA? Is RPA looking to replace people, or is it simply looking to help people do their jobs better, more effectively, more efficiently, so they can focus on their core duties and responsibilities? So and a whole bunch of other stuff we discussed during the conversation. So make sure you check that out. So with that being said, let's get into today's topic. Right, today's topic is. By the way, before I get into today's topic, make sure please you hit me up with a like, and make sure you share this segment with your network for anyone that might be interested in today's topic. And that way I can get this information out there for more people. All right, so today's topic: how do you respond to this question? Why do you want to leave your current employer? You probably will get asked this question, folks, right? Whether you like it or not. I know it's an annoying question. It kind of puts you on the spot, and you're like, how do I respond to this question? If I had bad experiences in my previous at my current employer, bad manager, bad work environment, should I be talking about that stuff? How do you respond to this question? Like, why do you want to leave your current employer? So before I get into that, let's first address the not so obvious thing, and that is, why are they even asking this question? Why would an interviewer, why would a recruiter, why would an HR person, an HR manager, why would a hiring manager even ask this question, right? I know I hear from you job seekers all the time, right? Those of you who express frustration with this question, they're like, why do recruiters ask this question? Like, well, how is this their business? Like, why are they even asking this? Why don't they just focus on, my skills, my experience, my background, and all that stuff? So the reason why people ask you this question, folks, right? Whether it's a recruiter, whether it's an HR person, whether it's a hiring manager, they're trying to understand what motivates you, right? This is one of the major reasons why you are being asked this question of why are you looking to leave your current employer. The first reason why they're asking you, one of the most common reasons why they're asking you this question is they're trying to understand your motivation. First of all, understand your motivation, and secondly, to see if there's an alignment between your motivations, your career goals, your targets, your career aspirations, and the opportunity at their organization. This is one of the major reasons why they're asking you why you're looking to leave your current employer. And if you're wondering, oh well, how does that connect to why I'm leaving, why they're asking this question and why I'm leaving my current employer? I'm going to show you that shortly, folks. Right? Give me a couple of minutes. I'm gonna kind of lay out the groundwork right now. But the strategy I suggest you use in responding to this question, I like to divide it into two parts. All right. The first part is we gotta establish the disconnect between why you joined your current employer and the existing situation at your current employer, right? So the first part is, okay, this is why I wanted to join this current employer that I'm currently working at, and then we want to go from there and show the disconnect, right? We got to show the disconnect that uh, yeah, I joined for such and such reasons, but this is the situation right now. And you want to put the focus on the disconnect being in your career, right? Career goals, career aspirations, career path goals, career path aspirations, things you want to learn, tools, technologies, knowledge, skills, upskilling yourself. You got to show that there's some kind of a disconnect, and you want to keep it to that. And I would suggest avoiding anything related to, don't talk about, oh well, my manager, it's not a good environment, it's a toxic environment. Even if that's the situation, I'd rather it's more practical, more pragmatic for you to put the focus on any disconnects from a career standpoint, right? I'd rather you folks focus on that. It's more effective. It's a much better kind of strategy for you to take. Now, the second part of the strategy, which I'm going to discuss, which has three steps to it, I'm going to discuss shortly. But the second part is based on the disconnect that you've shown. You now want to show how potentially joining this company that you're interviewing with, you will be able to fulfill that disconnect that you're currently experiencing at your current employer, because you want to show that there's a mutual benefit here, right? The organization is going to get you with your skills, your knowledge, your experience, and all that great stuff. But you also want to show that from your standpoint, this potential opportunity at this organization is going to be a great decision for you because it fulfills this disconnect in your career path, career goals, things you want to learn, new stuff you want to learn, learning opportunities. I don't know, types of technologies, types of projects, whatever it is, whatever the disconnect is, you want to show that it fulfills that from your standpoint as well. Okay, so that is the strategy, and I'm going to get into the three steps on how you can respond to this question shortly. But let's see here. We got some comments here. We got Peter in the house. Peter says, "Hi, Dean. Great topic. Awesome." We got Joel actually from RPA Pro. So Joel is the person I interviewed for the RPA segment. So make sure you check out Joel's YouTube channel as well, and check out our conversation, which is on my YouTube channel. Again, the link is scrolling down here down here in this scrolly thing. I can't remember what the term is for this scrolly thing, but but you folks get the idea, right? linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter. So Joel says, is the financial aspect a good reason and why? I'm going to get into that shortly, Joel. So hang tight. Great question there. Guru Prakash says, good approach. Thanks, Guru. Appreciate that. And Nigel says, can we be honest and speak about compensation as a reason? Yeah, I'm going to get into that shortly as well, Nigel, right? I'm going to share my thoughts about that. So hang tight, stick around. I'm going to get into those as well. But let me get into my 3-step process for responding to this question. Okay. Now, step number 1 is, right, you want to you want to first establish the groundwork, right? When you're responding to this question, hey Joel, hey Nigel, why are you looking to leave your current employer, right? As an example, you first want to lay the groundwork, right? So the first step is lay the groundwork by talking about why you joined your current employer in the first place, right? Because before we get into the disconnect, we have to establish the source of the disconnect. And the source of the disconnect is you joined this organization because you had specific things in mind that you felt that you were going to get fulfilled at this organization. right? So let's establish that first. Why did you join this organization? Well, first, before I get into why I'm looking to leave, I just want to, take a few steps back and talk about why I joined this organization in the first place. Now, when I was first approached about this position, it was because of my experience with blah 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 blah. And from my standpoint, I felt that this would be a great opportunity because of reasons XYZ, whatever your reasons are. Maybe it's you wanted to make more money. Now, in terms of the compensation thing, I would say it's fine to mention that, but I would say don't leave it at just that. Don't just talk about compensation being the only thing that motivated you. Now, in 99.9% of cases, folks, I'm speaking from a recruitment standpoint. Most of you are not making your decisions solely based on compensation. Of course, compensation is important. Of course, compensation is a big reason as to why you wanted to join the company. But aside from compensation, there's usually always other reasons why. And you want to introduce that into your motivations here as well, right? So don't just say, yeah, because I wanted to make more money. And I'm going to get into why that's not a good idea shortly. But aside from the money, you also want to put the focus on other aspects, right? This organization was going to offer me, opportunities to work with new technologies. It was an opportunity for me to work with certain types of projects. It was an opportunity for me to learn technology ABC, which is something I've never had the chance to work with. And this would have been a great opportunity for me to be able to work with this technology. You get the point, folks, right? Like you want to talk about all the things that motivated you, that made you want to join this company that you're currently working for. Now, quick note on why you don't want to mention only compensation as the reason for why you wanted to join this company. Because if compensation is the if it's the only thing that motivates you, then what the hiring manager is going to be thinking is, well, if compensation is the only thing that's motivating them, then compensation is going to be the only thing that's going to make them leave us, right? If they join us. And that would be like a real nuisance and kind of an inconvenience to the organization as well, right? I mean, think about it, folks. I mean, they're going to be investing money in you, right? They're going to be investing what, $100,000, 120, 150, whatever your salary range is, only to have you leave when some other company offers you a bit more money, or maybe a significantly more amount of money, and that's it. You're going to be gone. And that's going to be an inconvenience to this employer, right? This potential employer. So this is why I'm saying it's okay for you to mention that compensation was a reason why you wanted to join this current employer you're at, but talk about the other stuff as well, right? Talk about the other motivations as well. So that is step one. You want to talk about why you wanted to join this organization at the first place that you're currently working at, because we want to establish the groundwork for your motivations. So, Mr. and Mrs. Interviewer, well, before I get into why I'm looking to leave my current employer, the reason why I initially joined was because of reasons XYZ, right? You want to talk that, you want to lay down the groundwork. Now, step number two. Now, again, step number one, we established the groundwork, why we joined our current employer in the first place. Now, step number two, we want to introduce our pain points, okay? The disconnect, the gap, whatever you want to call it. Why there is a disconnect in our current employer. Even though we joined this current employer, maybe we're okay, maybe we're fairly happy, but now we want to introduce the gap, the disconnect. What is missing in this current place of employment that we're at? Because that's going to make it easier for you to transition to step number three, which is what I'm going to get into next. But now we want to discuss the gap and the disconnect, right? And this is where you talk about, again, I would my recommendation: don't talk about, oh, it's a toxic environment, it's I'm unhappy here, the manager's mean, so I'm having issues with this coworker or that coworker. No, I would suggest don't talk about none of that stuff, folks. You want to talk about strictly things which are a disconnect from a career path standpoint or career standpoint. That is more rational, that is more logical, and that is more reasonable for you to talk about, because and this could differ from interviewer to interviewer, but most interviewers, they don't want to feel like you're making the jump to their organization because for emotional reasons. Like, they want to see the logical reasons as to why you want to join their company or their organization. So that's why I'm saying it's better for you to stick to the rational, logical reasons as to why you want to leave this current organization. So again, step two, discuss the gap and the disconnect, right? So the gap and the disconnect could be as simple as, going from step one, which is where you talked about why you joined this current employer. Step number two, discussing the gap, it could simply be, look, after joining this current employer, it's a great company, great team, great organization. But the thing is, I'm not getting to work with technology ABC as much as I would have liked to, right? When I initially joined, as I explained in step number one, when I initially joined, I was told I'd be able to get a lot of hands-on experience working with technology ABC, and I felt that would be very beneficial for my career and my career path, because I have a great interest in this technology. But now, step number two, side note, step number two now. But what I'm experiencing right now, having worked at this company for about 2 to 3 years, is I'm not getting as much exposure to this technology as I would like to have, as I would like to have gotten. And I feel that this is a big kind of, it's becoming a big issue for me, because I feel like I'm falling behind, because this is technology ABC is such a popular, in demand technology, and I'm feeling like I'm kind of selling myself short here by not being able to pick up on technology ABC, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm just coming up with this example off the top of my head, folks, right? But hopefully you folks get the point here. I'm putting the focus on the disconnect. What is missing in my current employer, so I can now transition into step number three, which is I want to put the focus back on this company that is interviewing me, right? Because you don't want to dwell on these reasons, on this current employer, the past employers, whatever it is. You want to eventually put the focus back on this employer that is interviewing you, right? Because you want to show them why you want to join their organization and why you would be a good fit for them. So that is step number two. We established the disconnect, the gap in the disconnect. Now, this is going to allow us to transition into step number three, which is show the alignment between the gap, the disconnect, your motivations, and the opportunity at this organization that you're currently interviewing for, right? So going from there, you can say, given this gap, given this disconnect at my current employer where I'm not working enough with technology ABC, now we're transitioning into step number three. This is why I feel I was really attracted to and really excited about the opportunity to work with your organization. Because from what you're telling me, I'm going to have a lot of opportunity to work with technology ABC. And it sounds like that's going to be the focus of this project based on what you told me about the project so far in this interview. And this is going to allow me to fulfill that goal that I have for myself, to be a master, to master technology ABC, to be an expert in this area, so that I can accomplish whatever, blah blah blah, XYZ in my career, whatever it is, right? So you folks see the logical kind of process into discussing why you want to leave your current employer, the disconnect, and then transitioning into showing why that disconnect would not potentially exist at this company that you're interviewing with, right? So you got to show that alignment, because then what the interviewer is thinking is, oh, okay, all right, so obviously they have logical reasons for wanting to leave this current employer of theirs, right? So because you talked about technology ABC, you're not getting a good chance to work with it, at least not as much as you'd like to. And the other thing they're seeing is that because they had to see that it's a logical, rational kind of a jump that you're looking to make, is that they mentioned that, hey, at this company, at their company, you're going to have a better opportunity to work with technology ABC, right? And obviously they know that that's the case, because that's what they've been telling you. That's from what they've been telling you. This is a large part of the project that you'll be working on potentially at this new company. So they're like, oh, okay. I mean, this person, obviously, they seem to have good reasons as to why they want to leave their current employer, and it looks like we might have a good reason for them staying and sticking around with us, because they're going to get an opportunity to work with technology ABC, and because our project that we're going to be having them work on is going to be 100%, they're going to be working with technology ABC, like all throughout the day, and whatever the case is. So from the interviewer's standpoint, they're not seeing you as someone that's being emotional, and you're upset at your current employer. Oh, this is not working out, that's not working out, and you're just going to make a jump due to emotional reasons. No, they're not seeing you like that. They're seeing that you have logical, rational reasons as to why you would be motivated to join their company and even stick around, right? Now, I gave the example of technology ABC, whatever technology ABC is, but it could be anything, folks. It could be, a whole bunch of other stuff, right? um I don't know what else. It could be, maybe you want to work, maybe you're interviewing with a consulting company, and you want to get experience working in multiple types of projects and types of industries and stuff like that. So that could be something you can insert as part of your motivations as well, right? So let's say that's a situation, right? You're currently interviewing with a consulting company. It's one of those consulting companies where you'd be able to work with multiple different types of industries and projects, because they have different types of clients and different industries and different projects, right? So let's say, I'm in that situation, and the interviewer asks me, Dean, so why are you looking to work, why are you looking to leave your current company? So I'm going to follow the three steps, right? Step number one, I'm going to establish why I joined my current company in the first place, right? So I can say, well, Mrs. Interviewer, before I get into why I want to leave, let me first explain to you why I joined in the first place, right? Why I joined in the first place was, it was a great it was a great organization, and as a recruiter, I would be able to recruit on mostly roles in the banking sector, because assuming that my current employer, I'm just making this up, but my current employers, let's say in the banking industry. I joined the company because I really wanted to work in the banking industry, and work on different types of roles, and it's been a great experience so far. Then I'm going to get into step number two, the disconnect, right? The gap, the disconnect. But as I've been working here, what I've been realizing is I'm only getting to recruit on roles in the banking industry and the banking sector, and it's not giving me as much exposure as I like to in other industries and other areas, right? Now, don't get me wrong, Mr. and Mrs. Interviewer. It's been, it's fast paced. It's amazing. I've learned so much. I've been recruiting on various roles within the banking, within the tech related roles within the banking sector. But I feel like I'm not getting to experience exposure to recruiting on positions in various other industries, which is what now I'm getting into step number three, right? Transitioning into talking about them, why their opportunity is more interesting to me, in my case as a recruiter. Uh, with that being said, Mr. Mrs. Interviewer, this is why the position to potentially work with you is very appealing to me, because you're a consulting company, and I feel that by joining your team and being a recruiter on your team, I'd be able to expose myself to various other industries, right? And given my experience in the banking sector, of course, I can leverage that for any clients you have in the banking sector. I can definitely, throw in my expertise in that area, because I have a lot of experience in that sector. But I'd also be able to expose myself to other industries and other clients that you might have in various other industries. And I understand from the job description and what you told me so far, you also have clients in construction, in the insurance industry, in the SaaS industry, in the tech industry. So I have a lot of strong experience working in various types of roles in tech, and I believe joining your company, it would fulfill what I'm not getting right now, which is exposure to recruiting in different types of recruiting for tech roles in different types of industries, right? So again, I'm just making this up off the top of my head, folks, but you get the idea, right? I'm showing them logical reasons as to why I'm looking to leave my current employer, and I'm also showing them I'm going above and beyond, and I'm showing them why joining them would be in my own best interest as well, right? Because they got to see that as well. It's one thing for them to see you as having the right knowledge, the skills, the experience, and all that stuff, but they also got to see why it makes logical sense for you to join them. So that's what we're trying to do here by communicating and going through these three steps. Again, just to summarize the three steps. Number one, well, when you're responding to this question, why do you want to leave your current employer? Why are you leaving your current employer? Step number one, talk about why you joined the current employer in the first place, right? This is an opportunity for you to talk about your career goals, your aspirations, the motivations. And then we're going to get into step number two, which is the gap, the disconnect. Yes, you joined because you were under the impression you were gonna get certain skills, knowledge, experience, career path, aspirations, whatever it is. But there's a disconnect. There is a disconnect, right? And you got to talk about that disconnect over here. And step number three, you want to talk about how that disconnect would be fulfilled at the current this place that you're interviewing at, right? This company that you're interviewing with. That disconnect is going to be highly unlikely or highly minimized at this opportunity at this company that you're interviewing with. So that is a three-step process I suggest, I recommend you folks follow when you're interviewing for positions and they're asking you why you want to leave your current employer. So again, don't talk about, it's a toxic, even if it's a toxic environment. I totally empathize with you folks out there, because it really sucks if you're working at a company and it's like a terrible work environment and all that stuff. But I would advise against talking about that stuff. Right now, there's many reasons why people say, oh, you shouldn't talk about if you're working in a toxic environment, or you shouldn't talk about negative stuff about your current or past employers. Honestly, I don't know why that would bother some people, folks, because that does happen, right? It happens to all of us. But I'd rather you folks focus on logical, rational, career related reasons why. Okay, so follow these three steps. Again, step number one, why you joined the company in the first place. Step number two, talk about a disconnect or a gap from a career standpoint, right? Again, maybe you're not learning what you want to learn. Maybe you're not getting to work on the types of projects you want to work on. Maybe you're not getting to work on the types of I don't know, technologies or software or something that you really want to work on hands on. Whatever, there's a disconnect there. Step number three: show how that disconnect would not exist at this employer that you are interviewing with, right? So that they can see that you have a logical reasons to make the jump from where you're currently at, where there's a gap or a disconnect, and joining their team where this gap or disconnect would not exist, and you would actually feel that fulfillment and getting what you want from this position or from this company that you're looking to jump to, right? So look, I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions about this in the comments, and make sure you hit me out with a like and share if you found this session helpful. Always appreciate the likes and the share. And you know what? The likes and the share, folks, it helps this mysterious algorithm put it out there so more people can benefit from my content. All right. And a quick shout out. I forgot to give a quick shout out to everyone tuning in on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Appreciate you tuning in. And also make sure if you want to follow me on all my social channels are at my Linktree page, which is scrolling down here below. And my Linktree page is linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter, linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter. And again, if you want to check out the episode 2 of my podcast with my special guest, Joel Medeiros, where we talk about RPA, robotic process automation, the link's going to be at my Linktree page. Again, it's linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter. So make sure you check that out. All right. So with that being said, also one more thing, make sure you also subscribe on my Linktree page. You'll see a link for my LinkedIn newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter. I release a new episode, a new edition every week on Mondays. And I've had so much great feedback from my newsletter so far. This week, Monday, I talked about the two main things that you have to have on your resume. Two major things you have to have on your resume in order for it to really grab the attention of the recruiter, right? So make sure you check that out. If you go to you can go to the link on my Linktree page, but also if you, after the stream ends, go to my LinkedIn profile, scroll down to the featured section, and just swipe, I think, once to the left, and there should be a featured article from this week. So make sure you check that out as well. If you're an IT professional or if you're an organization looking for IT talent here in Canada, make sure you reach out to me for more information on how I can personally help you. Definitely want to see if there's any way I can assist you. Again, if you're an IT professional or if you're an organization looking to hire your next superstar for your team, definitely let me know. Also, for those of you who are in need of further assistance beyond my live streams, beyond my free content, which I post almost every day during the week on social media, for those of you who might want additional help from me one-on-one, I will be soon introducing one-on-one coaching with myself. It will be paid coaching, right? But this is for those of you who need help outside, beyond my content, which I post every day during the week, right? So stay tuned for more information about that. I will be posting more information about that. But hey, stay tuned and feel free to send me a message if you want more information about that, and I'll take note to keep you informed as soon as I have the pricing and the packages together as well. All right. So with that being said, feel free to put your questions in the comments. I'm going to get into your questions right now, and let's see how what feedback you have, folks, or what questions you have in regards to this. So Joel, I think I answered your question in terms of the financial aspect, a good reason, and also Nigel, I think I kind of covered your feedback in regard your question in regards to that as well. So again, it's okay to talk about compensation, but I would say don't leave it at this just compensation, because if compensation is the only thing that's going to motivate you to join a company, then what the interviewer, the hiring manager is going to be thinking is, well, in that case, compensation is going to be the only reason that they're going to want to leave us as well. Like, talk about the other stuff as well, right? Talk about what else interests you about this particular company or this organization. What interests you? What motivates you to want to join this company and this organization as well, right? So you want to be able to communicate that aside from the compensation, so that they see. And by the way, it's perfectly fine for you to be motivated by wanting to make more money. But the point here is talk about the other stuff as well, right? Because that way they know that, okay, you do have reasons other than who's going to offer you the most money for wanting to join their organization, right? So hope that helps, Nigel and Joel. And thanks for that great question. Peter says, this sounds like a lot of talk. What if I have example 1 to 2 minutes to explain? Yeah, I explained it within 1 to 2 minutes myself, Peter, right? This does not have to be some a PhD thesis acceptance speech or something like that, right? It could be as simple as it's just 3 steps, right? Step number one, establish the reason why you joined the company in the first place. Step number two, explain the gap and the disconnect. Step number three, explain how the gap and disconnect does not will not be evident at this company you're wanting to join, so that they see that there's a logical reason for you to be wanting to join them as well in the first place, right? So again, it could be as quick as, hey, look, Mr. and Mrs. Interviewer, before I get into that, just to kind of backpedal a bit, the reason why I joined this current organization is because they had great opportunities for me to work on cloud related projects, and it seemed like a great opportunity at that time. However, what I found is, having worked at the company for about a year now, I'm not getting as much exposure to the cloud projects as I would like. And that is something that I really want to develop in my career, and develop as a professional in the field, which brings me to why I really want to join your organization, because there seems to be a focus on this role on cloud related projects. And that will allow me to further enhance and build on this experience based on what you told me about the role so far, and based on what I understand I'll be mostly working on in this particular project at your company, right? So there you go, Peter. Right, less than a minute, I went through those 3 steps, explained my motivations. They got an understanding of my motivations, and they also got to see that it makes logical sense for me to want to join their company because of the focus on cloud related projects. So again, just another quick example there. So with that being said, folks, it looks like there's no other questions. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and make sure you mark your calendars, because again, every week, Wednesdays, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone, I'm right here live to help you folks out with job search tips, advice, strategies, and all that stuff. If there's any particular topics you want me to cover in a future live stream, feel free to drop it in the comments. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, make sure you hit like and share. And again, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone. I'll see you next week, folks. Have a fantastic week. Stay positive, and I'll see you around next time. Have a good one, everyone.